Now, on Breakfast, we have been following the story of rugby league player Matthew Syron, who was left unable to see after being attacked with a glass on a night out on Boxing Day.
Matthew has since undergone multiple surgeries and is calling for a ban on glasses in pubs and bars after 9 p.m. More than 5,000 people have signed his petition for a change in the law, as Tim Moffat reports.
If you notice, as soon as I open my eye, it just waters straight away. So I've got like a 3 or 4 second window before it starts watering. I can sort of start see shapes. The left eye I've got no sight in. Yeah, it's very tough, mate, especially when you've got young kids and you provide for your family and that gets all taken away from you in an instant.
Matthew's life changed on Boxing Day in a bar in Leeds city centre.
Something came over my right shoulder. Someone hit me square in the face with a glass or a bottle. The attacker fell down with me, pushing the bottle or glass through my face, instantly blinding me. When I hit the floor, obviously, panic set in. Everything was dark.
Doctors don't know whether Matthew's sight will return. A former rugby player for Leeds Rhinos Academy, he moved to Australia in 2012 and runs an electrical business there. Matthew had come back to Leeds over Christmas to visit his brother. His wife and 2 children are still in Australia, but Matthew won't be able to return for months.
I'll go on and on.
He's channeling his pain, anger and frustration into calls for change.
It's tough.
Tell us what you want to happen.
So 9 p.m, cut the glass off, change it for a PVC or recyclable cup.
9 o'clock and all bars and clubs.
Definitely. If we can get rid of the glass before the people start getting rowdy, eliminate the glass so there's no way of anyone getting hurt with a weapon. The weekend that this happened to me, 10 people came into the same hospital and had been glassed. And yeah, I just would never want anyone to sit in these shoes that I'm sat in. It's horrific.
Rules vary across the UK, but essentially, for a premises to serve alcohol, it needs a licence. And as things stand, in most areas, if police believe there is a risk of violence in a specific bar or club, they can insist that no glassware is used beyond a certain time.
But Matthew wants things to go much further. His petition is calling for a post-9 p.m. glass ban in all bars and clubs. It would be a huge undertaking, and many industry experts foresee numerous challenges: cost, sustainability, and the intrinsic feel of drinking from a glass.
Say disposable plastic and against glass, you know, you could probably get away with serving a pint in this, but when you start to talk about cocktails, etc., becomes a challenge in terms of the customer's expectation.
Do you think change will happen on this?
I think the key thing, first and foremost, is finding a safe material which is workable, cost-effective, sustainable.
When these glasses break, they actually behave in different ways.
Helen Hughes specialises in sustainable design.
The glass isn't evenly distributed as well.
Back in 2010, she looked into ways of making pint glasses safer.
All glassware that goes into bars and restaurants and things is meant to be toughened, which means that when they do break, they actually break into these small pieces which can't be used as a weapon. However, over time, that toughening process wears off and the top of the glass can become weakened, so that when it breaks, there is a risk that it could potentially break into more of these shards.
Working alongside a major glass manufacturer, Helen's team developed a pint glass design that's stronger and, if broken, is far more likely to shatter into less harmful pieces.
I guess the question is, why aren't we all drinking from glasses like this?
It's a case of awareness. It is more expensive, but it comes down to supply and demands. Greater demand for it, then obviously the price of these sorts of things come down.
So for now, a lot of glassware in pubs, bars and clubs is still a potential weapon.
It's a hazard instantly, as soon as it's smashed. Someone could pick that weapon up and, because they're having a bad day, hit you with it. And it's happened to me. And he shoved a glass through my face. He shoves it a certain area down. It's inside my neck, and we ain't having this conversation. I'm dead. Nothing's been done.
Matthew and I are talking in a pub on the outskirts of Leeds, a few miles from the city centre where the attack took place. And staff here, whilst hugely sympathetic to Matthew, believe a glass ban would be very unpopular.
What do you think the punters here would make of a ban on glass post 9 o'clock?
Not a lot of them would stay. They'd probably leave about 9. You can get like the flimsy plastic glasses that just, they're not going to keep a pint well, and they're just not going to be an enjoyable drink. I don't think it'll go down too well.
Matthew is still hoping his petition hits 10,000 signatures, which would mean it would get a response from the UK government.
My message is this: this could happen to you. So to stop that, you eliminate the glass and eliminate the risk of someone getting hurt. But I'd never want anyone to have this happen to them. And it ruins your life.
Really powerful story there. Joining us now, John Hughes, Liverpool's nighttime economy advisor, and Tom Robinson, director of security company in Shrewsbury. Morning to you both.
Morning.
Watching that film, Tom, you can see why it seems like such a good idea to do anything we can to protect people from this happening to them.
Oh, definitely. No, it's. I mean, working 15 years now in security. I mean, I've seen some pretty atrocious things. We've made some fundamental changes to where we work, and I've seen how changes can be implemented. But the main thing is, I mean, just one act like this, I mean, it's destroyed Matthew's life, and I'm hoping he's going to get better. But on the same foot, as we were talking about before, to tackle everybody with the same brush is going to be a challenge. With the industry already being on its knees, as John says, on its knees.
Yeah, John, that's the issue. People will see why a change would be needed. Anyone watching that piece, it's not as simple though, is it, as just swapping out glasses for plastic?
No. I mean, in Liverpool for years, there's venues that voluntarily use polycarbonate glasses, which are designed and everything, but everything comes as an expense at the moment. And like I said to you before we come on here, the industry's on its knees at the moment. We're looking at the budget on Thursday, which is trying to help us to stay open. And obviously, with what's happened with Matthew, it is few and far between in the city centres, and this is why we have licensing laws. And any venues who don't apply to what the licence is should be taken to review and then penalised, not everybody else penalised.
And John, what other factors come in here? What other things could be done to protect people from violent outbursts like this?
Yeah, well, obviously it's down to how you run your venue. It's having the right security. Everything always boils down to training. You got to make sure everything's right. I'm talking about Liverpool, and we've just got our accreditation again for 14 years. We've got purple flag status. So it's about everybody working together. It's massive for Liverpool, the nighttime economy, same as here in Manchester, for everybody, for people's jobs and everything. So anything that happens like this, we need to look after people and do everything we can.
Tom, so that suggestion that glass would be banned after 9 o'clock, why 9 o'clock? Is that an arbitrary number? Would it make a difference? So,
with a little bit of research, in Australia, they've got a 10 o'clock curfew on glass.
Right.
So the plastics take over at 10 o'clock. Now, Australians, they're known for enjoying themselves quite a lot. They took it absolutely fine. However, British culture, let's be honest, we're a good culture, and glass, drink from a glass, you've got your widget in the bottom if you're a lager drinker. Some of the stout drinkers different. But the main thing is, I think it would take a lot of time to change. It can't be done overnight. Legislatively, I've got to be honest, it would take a lot of time. Now, training-wise, as John mentions, the SIA, who's our body, so Security Industry Authority, so they are bringing in a lot more training now. So you haven't got your old school door staff that are just coming in. You've got to go through 7 days of intense training.
And what will that change? How do they handle those situations differently? So
something that's been brought in the last few weeks, it might be in 1st of April, it may come in, is spiking. So with spiking, we're now getting, as door supervisors, we're trained specifically in how to deal with spiking, how to recognise it. But also with the nighttime economy and the venues, there's more awareness being brought in. And with this, I think awareness is probably going to be the first step in how we start to tackle this situation. And then you can't just expect the retailers to fork out a lot of money to change glass to plastic. They might get financial help from some of the suppliers of alcohol, but at the same time, it's going to be a lot of change, and people might actually vote with their feet rather than just saying no. And with times at the moment being the industry is on its knees, with everything, costs of living's going up, so less people coming out. It might be the last sort of straw that breaks the camel's back, possibly.
But with incidents like this, with glassing and with spiking too, would it not be better to prevent these things happening in the first place rather than, I know we've got to learn how to manage the aftermath of something like this, but isn't prevention the way forward?
Yeah, but prevention's always the way forward, and like I say, in Liverpool, we go through so much training. We work very closely with the police and the council. I mean, like we were just saying there, the suppliers of glass with the branded glasses and that, they're putting in the contracts now that if we're supplying you the glass, it's got to come in our branded. So you're in like a situation where obviously we want everyone to have a great time, we want to keep them safe, but it's the financial cost of basically staying open at the moment. That's the conundrum that everybody's in, and we, you know, safety is the top of our list for all our industry.
John, Tom, thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting issue, actually, and let's see how this plays out. But thank you. Really good to talk to you.
All right.